Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that break. Our lovely Sky. Where are you? Right here. This one. This one. Put that together, and I think it's been a great addition. Keeps a little breaky break, a little funny fun. We return to the party. Amansar approaching. I could really use your help.
What you got in mind?
Well, as you know, my daughter was turned to stone by a Keleg. I've been working with the Order of Heroes, or the alchemists there, and I believe that if I were to retrieve the Keleg's stinger and the toxin therein, I may be able to develop a cure. Not only save my daughter, but rid the world of these beasts for good.
The same one
that... At least their threat of imminent death upon those who encounter it.
This is the same one that turned your daughter to stone?
It would be.
Where's it
foul beast.
I'm in. Where's it at?
Not far. Up the mountain pass of Lake Grasp a good ways, and then it lurks within the worm caves.
What do you know of it? What makes it tick? What draws it towards something? Does it have a lure that we could set out to trap it or anything like the likes?
I'm not sure of anything of that regard. I did find that fire was not its friend. Though it has a thick carapace, it is also fleshy and, well, you burn that away and you leave the thing vulnerable.
Fire
but I tell you, this is a deadly creature. If you are not careful, you will suffer the same fate as my dear Tilly.
I hate to ask, but how did that happen? Did she look into its eyes, or does it cast
a scorpion
sting? Sting itself.
Rowan's gonna look to Briar.
If it injects enough of its toxin within you, you start to turn.
Rowan's gonna kind of cock his eye towards Briar and just raise his eyebrow.
I would be very interested in collecting some samples of this toxin. I'm pretty good with poison.
I do not even want to begin to think of what you would do with that. Or would I?
Oh, we can play together.
I can think of a few uses for it.
We can take a look into this for you. Take care of this for you, it'd be an honor. Especially the same one that took out here. Rowan's gonna gesture in the guesstimate vicinity of his daughter.
Yes.
We'll take care of it for you. Don't worry.
I made you a promise that we would find a way to get your daughter back. If this is how we finish that promise, absolutely.
You have no idea what this would mean to me.
If we finish this, the world will be a much safer place. At least in the city.
Up until this point, there's never been a known cure for this kind of petrification. At least from a Keleg's sting. Let me know if there's anything I can get you for your trouble before you set out up towards the mountain.
I can think of quite a few things, but I'll let you know. Speaking of which, Dad, can I borrow your grapple, please? We might need it if we're going up a mountain.
That grapple has run in the family for generations, and you want it's got our names on it, it's got an entire family. Of course you can have it.
Thank you, yes, because it really should stay in the family after all.
Right.
You're right.
And who knows,
right,
I'd probably lose it.
Oh, Butterfingers.
One condition.
Yes.
Do not go out there and die and leave it on some kind of cliff ledge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I would not.
It would be a shame to lose a grapple of such quality. Because you die.
Right. Right. And she's gonna run up on her dad and jump on him and give him a big kiss.
I'm being attacked. You should show Rowan a few things. I didn't see it coming.
Pro grappler.
Okay. What would you like to do to prepare?
Mage armor. Boop.
Right now?
Yes.
Mansar, do you mind letting Aiden know where we had gone, that we would be back? A few of us wanted to talk to him, and I don't want him to think we skipped town without getting able to communicate with him. There's some major things we wanted to discuss. I'm imagining healing potions, possibly a few for whatever else is in this cave that we might have to fight before we get to the beast. You said that if enough of the toxin gets into you, you turn to stone. So if you get stung once, you're okay?
I would not count on it. Once that toxin is in you, it's a downhill spiral. Avoid that tail at all costs.
Would this toxin count as a poison?
No. It's more of like, I don't know. Simple poison just drains your life. This changes your entire composition. It's a marvelous work of nature. Terrifying, but deadly.
So you don't think any potions of protection from disease and poison?
That is what I hope to create, is an antitoxin specific to the Keleg venom.
I can't think.
Sorry. She's going to pull out her lightning in a bottle from her bag. So, do you have anything like this but with fire?
I'm afraid not. What is that?
Lightning in a bottle. It is super cool. Don't drink
fire.
it though.
Do you have any?
Somewhat.
Alchemist fire?
Let me check.
As he's checking, Aso kind of leans to Brian. You're like this. It's kind of like that, except it's a one-use. And it's like a bomb that you throw.
E-bomb, so super explosive.
Alchemist's fire is a bit weak for this. Perhaps I give you some fire bombs altogether. They're less explosive and more. Fill it with fire.
She's gonna side-eye her dad.
And this is not like in a forest, right? This is like, like in a cave or something like that. Generally, yes, the worm tunnels. It has made its home there. No other creatures would be foolish enough to even enter near the mouth of this cave. Save for humanoids like us, I suppose. What you got going on there, David? What's up,
ISP.
Internet decided to.
No!
So I'm restarting it.
Good thing you have a phone.
Yep, and that's still loaded, so we're good.
Uh-oh. Hey, that's good.
HTML
Okay.
cache pages.
Eh,
That's all that matters.
there we go.
All right. Glad you're still with us. It's perfect. Can't even tell anything
Still hit
changed.
refresh.
The same frame and everything. Yeah, just don't hit refresh. Maybe take a screenshot of it. There you go. Okay.
So, how many fire bombs?
As you guys kind of like walk and talk and head back to his shop just to expedite some of this, he gives each of you a potion of healing. And then 3 fire bombs. The rest you would have to spend a good amount of time making.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the most sense that Briar holds on to this.
Well, Charon would be staying back as well. Do you want some fire, Charon?
I mean, if it'd be better spent up front.
Wait,
No, actually, it might be a good idea, just in case. Hopefully, I won't have to expend all of my energy on healing you.
wait, time out. Is Arel still with us? Because then Briar would not be messing with anything with a fire. It would
No,
all
he
be-
left. He went back to the sleeping moon.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
okay,
mhm,
good to-
mhm, mhm.
Okay.
So because the firebomb doesn't technically exist, it would basically be a alchemist's fire, but instead of 1d4, be 3d4.
Okay.
Gotcha. So just add.
Yep.
Okay. Hang on a second. I don't think that I should take all of them.
Okay, you can have one. You will take one for each hand. Or give it to one of the people that are super strong and can throw very far.
I could shove it in its mouth.
Like, you would be too close, it could sting you, Ace.
Oh,
I can throw it pretty far. It's up to you guys. I could probably throw it, but it's up to you.
She's going to just palm one out. I don't care, just take it. I keep this one for fire.
We'll take that one.
well, I think if that is it, I think we should go.
Yes.
Before we go, I should probably tell my wife where we're going.
And actually, could you ask Coria to invite Calandra to the inn this evening? I'd like for her to meet some people.
They do that. Sure.
Unless, of course, I didn't think the temple was on our way out of town. We could just stop by ourselves.
Technically you would be, actually, because the temple is in the northwest of the city. Of the Hans district, actually. The Temple of Light. Assuming that she's here, but maybe good idea to just tell her anyway.
Let's go with the former then. Make your wife do it. No. So, hopefully we'll be back this evening. Don't foresee it taking us that long, but
So, Asher, you head back to the... Well, actually, all of you would be heading north, so you would probably all just stop by the Sleeping Moon as you're heading out towards the outside of the city. The Northern Pass, leading to the not necessarily industrious mountain mines, but they do have a little bit of like a mining situation going up there. But you're entering kind of the central spire of Eswind, the mountains alongside there. If you were to travel, cut straight through the mountains to the west, you would run into. Hold on, give me a second. Actually, I need to pull up the map. I don't want to say it wrong. Which one's which? You would run into Tilo, which is obviously your next destination. Not an easy pass from where, from the mountains of Lake Grasp. if you were to head northwest from there, you'd run into Tierno, but this kind of mountain spire that Lake Grasp was built at the base upon. As you kind of see it overlooking the city. All right, Asher.
So he'll go in and be like, so we just got tasked from Amansar to collect some samples from a beast up in the mountain pass. Just wanted to let you know we'll be back hopefully tonight.
Hopefully.
Could you send a message to Calandra at the Temple of Light to come over for dinner tonight?
Sure. Be careful.
I will always.
You and hunting beasts. Adventure.
It's for a good cause.
I know. It always is. You got this. Kill that beast.
I'll see you tonight. And I'll give her a kiss and walk out. Back to the party.
Anything else you guys would like to do as you head north towards the mountain pass?
Do this. Ready to hunt something.
So, if possible, I know we're going to attack it with fire, but if we could save a little bit of the gland, I would like one because I can think of many uses for it.
Well, we said that.
You're good.
Well, without burning it, you know.
Yeah.
He said that it was the tail. That was the
Yes.
thing. If we destroy a different portion of its body, then we just have to leave the tail intact.
Well, fire can
Right.
be unpredictable, though, so if it's possible not to compromise at least one, yes.
I think this might depend on how large it is. Did we even ask that?
Okay.
How large is a Keleg?
Roll. I don't know. What kind of roll would this be that you would
History.
know?
For sure.
History or animal
Animal
handling
handling.
or
Yeah.
I'll just say you'd probably just know. Though they're not very common, they're pretty large.
right.
Pretty large.
Like in the several 100 pound or the several ton category.
Several 100 pounds. They're not necessarily meaty. You'll see.
They're not meaty, okay? So I was gonna ask.
Little spindly arms.
They're
They're-
kind of special.
They're a little creepy. You'll see. But yeah, probably maybe almost a ton, as large as it is, but and as kind of dense as it is. They're kind of a spindly, almost scorpion-like, almost arachnid-like, a little bit cryptid kind of creature.
Mm-hmm.
None of you've probably seen one though, but you're about to. Okay, you guys make your way through the town, and you see this point in the kind of late morning, early afternoon, as you guys have kind of had this time. The street's still bustling in the marketplace as you different people going to the different stalls and stands and into the different stores, and people just kind of whimsically unaware of the party set out on a quest before them. You guys eventually make it to the small northern gate that just rarely opens, as people rarely need to come in and out. And as you go through this kind of like single door towards the mountain, the mountain pass, you see kind of on either side the different cranes that lift stuff in and out of the city from the imports from the mining operations up in the north. You make your way through the mountain pass, occasionally passing people drawing carts to and from the city and different out branches of mining outposts, and eventually becomes less and less civilized. You see fewer and fewer faces as you make your way deeper into the mountain pass. The forest begins to take over. You head through until, given the direction that presumably Mansar would have given you towards the worm tunnels, you come upon the mouth of this cave, almost kind of eerily circular, bored right into like the edge of the mountain. Would have been a type of creature that presumably no longer exists. The crypt worms that bore into pure rock and basically would be like giant worms, but instead of dirt, they chug through like rock and stone. And
Wow.
type of creature that presumably no longer exists in this world, but their handiwork in carving through the mountains still exists. As you approach through the cave, it begins to get darker. Those without the vision for it would struggle.
I would just can I cast my fist for the
Yeah.
light?
Yep, you can light up your fist. You travel for what seems to be... It's ominous in the sense that it's just a straight, bored, perfectly circular tunnel, so it feels like you're just walking through the same space over and over and over again. And eventually you begin to feel this kind of waft of air that comes through the other end of the tunnel, and it starts to branch out in different directions. You hear kind of off in the distance of the cave, and then
Is that from the same direction or different directions?
this was echoing from in front of you, the direction ahead.
But
of you.
okay, gotcha. Okay.
Do we have any plans here?
Anyone?
Do we have any plans here?
Well,
Don't get stuck.
Don't get stoned.
I can throw fire out from very far.
As you guys sit here and discuss this, you hear something rush through the front of the tunnel. Bats fly out, flapping their wings almost thunderously as they just consume the tunnel in front of you, then leave.
Well, I certainly take that as an omen of something far more threatening coming, so...
If either of you, looking at Briar, could cast, or even Asher, could cast something to possibly light it, a verifier of sorts or something along those lines. Best idea.
I think that might be up your alley. And I'll look at Asher.
Yes, but I need to know where a general location.
The dimensions of this cavern, how wide, tall?
As the so the cavern that you're in, it would probably be
It's
about
circular
like
area, so.
10, 12, about 12 foot, just 12 foot in diameter.
Gotcha. Okay, so 12 feet
A nice
from
little
side to side.
bore.
top to bottom.
It as the bats leave and trail behind you, just kind of squeaking back behind you, you just hear up ahead. Still a little bit of distance away as it echoes through the hall towards you. You do kind of get the sense with the little bit of light that is created. Rowan, did you light your sword?
Yeah, that's a
So
that's a
between
safe
your guys
assumption.
lighting your swords
Yeah.
and those with dark vision, you do see that the bore finally ends, and you see there is a open cavern up ahead.
If we take the lights out, and you guys lead us to the entrance of the catacombs.
Also,
If
Amansar
you're able-
probably would have described to you that it can see in the dark, so you would just be giving yourself a disadvantage. It can see you already. Well,
if it's-
presumably if it's looking at you. So, sorry, just so you would know.
If we stealth up to the entrance to where it couldn't see us, build upper hand on it.
Get a general location, I can light it up like a fire, but
Rowan's gonna shake his head with Ansar's description and say, "Oh, we're at a loss. If we try to surprise it, it's gonna know we're coming regardless."
I agree. It's we might be able to outsmart it at least. Like you said, if you can utilize your verifier, we can lure it so that it activates it. We might be able to take that approach. It's a hunter, but it's a creature, so it may not be that intelligent. Either way, I think we just need to detect it as quickly as possible and then never take our eyes off it.
Charge in and finish it as quick as possible. Okay.
We
I
need to be discerning.
could we get a general idea of how big the cave in front of us is? Like, is the chamber rather large, or is it a?
You, at least from the mouth, if you've gone as far as to the mouth of the cavern, you would not be able to see the back of it.
Oh, so it's.
Probably. How much of dark vision do you have?
Oh, Asher doesn't have any, so he's relying on the light.
So you would not, definitely. Anybody with dark vision could
think it's like
maybe
up to
start to see the beginnings of the other wall. Maybe.
60
It's not-
feet
Yeah, about
is
60 foot.
feet.
You maybe start to see the other end.
So do
Point
we
me
still...
where it's at, and I'll light it up.
Are you going to enter the mouth of the cave? The mouth of the cavern? From there, if you haven't already, I put a link in Discord. I would show you the battle map.
Mhm.
And we will switch to battle map mode.
Mhm.
There we go. As you make your way, what is the marching order also? I guess I could change that right now, however you want to do this.
Probably Rowan and Dom leading the way.
Asher's going to be behind them, kind of with his hand on their shoulder since he can't see super well.
Either can die.
Briar, Briar and Caron in the back because the fire spell I want to unleash I can do from super far away as long as I can see.
You do see kind of over to your right. If you want, you could get a little bit of high ground.
Mhm.
That might be a good idea, actually.
You can do that if you'd like.
Well, I'm not going to immediately go too far, just
Okay.
because we haven't detected where he is exactly yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go there, or do you want me to put you back?
That's as far as I'll go. I'll stand there for now.
Stop right there. Where do you want to go, Brian?
I'll go to the base of it, just over a bit.
Right here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those of you in front and Quran, with your 60 feet of dark vision, you start to see a shape form.
Straight ahead, above.
Straight ahead in
ground.
front of you.
And is it
Those
on
of
the
you
ground?
without dark vision just see the shape, and as you get closer, as it gets closer, you begin to see the form of the Keleg.
So, oh, fuck that. As soon
Fuck
as we
that
get
noise.
semi-close, like,
Jeez.
as soon as I can see where it's
It's moving.
at. Okay.
Nope.
Chat in.
Asher.
Update.
What?
No, thank you. I'm out
As
of
it
here.
approaches
Good
you
night,
guys,
boys.
Rolling suddenly
Asher's
just
gonna cast Fairy
begins
Fire as soon as he can see it.
it
It was
approaches,
moving.
clawing,
What the fuck? Can't control that.
clawing
Love
its
it.
way towards you. It kind of, not afraid to confront head on, not even trying to use the element of surprise. You see as its mouth opens up and all these teeth and just rows of eyes on the front of its head. You actually want to see it? Come look at this, baby. Look at this
Yes.
guy.
Oh, what the fuck?
As its
no.
mouth opens up, and you hear, aside from the regular just growling, we need to roll. We need to roll initiative.
It's actually fucking with my
did you-
trypophobia right now.
I'm sorry.
Rowan is having second thoughts about being an adventurer.
Did we get the fairy fire off or no?
Yes, you can cast the fairy fire before the round starts.
So, it needs
I might call
to
out the
make,
window.
it
So-
needs to make a
It's
dex save.
actually fucking. I feel sick. Okay.
Oh god. I'm so sorry, Ellie. It's okay, you're gonna kill it, no problem. You got this thing. I'll get it off screen. It's off screen. You don't have to see it. Oh god. Oof.
So it needs to make a DC 14 dex save, though,
Okay,
for
let me
that.
get him up here.
While we wait, you guys, thank you so much for
Or, I'm sorry,
watching
15.
and hanging out. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you follow us on all of the socials. Beep booty doo. Bam, right there in the chat.
Okay, let me open this. Are you dying right now? Seth, what's going on, bud? Allie, it's okay. It's off screen right now.
No, just the reactions. She didn't like. She's not feeling well, so
Okay,
We'll just
I'm gonna run the
let,
encounter.
let her be, and then
Yes.
we'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you, Allie.
I'm sorry.
Can
That-
we get
That scream just really.
what
I
screen?
lost it. Your scream of what it.
Okay, initiatives.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I need to make a dex. I need a what kind of saving throw?
Dexterity saving.
Dexterity
Or
saving throw.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know.
Yeah, that's gonna pass 21.
Yep.
Shoot.
Hey Schmooples, roll me a d20.
Okay.
JT, would I had time to rage beforehand?
Okay.
Sure. For this. Yeah.
I was like, this thing you're gonna need.
For this thing,
You're gonna
yeah,
need it.
Sure.
Go ahead
Okay,
and
initiatives, guys. Correct.
Eli, roll me a d22
17.
or
17?
d8. I'm so sorry. D8.
Briar,
Mhm.
15.
15. Ace. Initiative
7.
7. Oof. Asher,
10.
10. Rowan,
22.
22. All right. Let me roll it. A.
It's
Okay.
ironic. I really don't want to look at the thing.
I don't want to
Well,
look at the
is it,
thing.
you don't want to look at it from the front or at all?
Just don't look at it. Just, I know, Holson, you didn't intend to. I just,
No face shots.
Just no face shots, please.
Okay,
that
got
face
you.
shot made me sick to my stomach.
It is pretty. Like I said, it's creepy.
No, it's creepy. It's just the trypophobia. The holes.
The holes. Those are eyeballs, not holes.
I know. I know.
Doesn't make it any better.
No.
Nope, doesn't work. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me do the math here. Not the best, but not the worst. It is Rowan who will go first.
Rowan would go in and do a double attack. One attack, and then use his bonus action to do another attack.
Okay. So you're gonna rush up to it?
Yeah, Rowan's gonna rush it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 will get you right
Yeah.
there.
That's cool. Yeah, I've got five spare feet, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay, 13 and a natural 20. So the 13 will go to the flame tongue, which would be an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay, and then the natural 20 will be for the Lime Mills Blade, which is also a 25 to hit. Which is a natural 20. So it's a double the dice roll, right? Scenario?
Yep.
Oh, maybe that's not good. Okay. 2. Okay, so first attack is going to be 7 slashing attack.
Oops.
Feels good, man. 9 fire damage to the flame tongue, from the flame tongue, and then I'm going to use a superiority die for the Lime Mills Blade.
So what is the damage so far?
So there's going to be 7 slashing damage from the first attack.
Okay.
9 flame damage, because I know you noted that there's going to be, it has a disadvantage on flame.
So you
There's
doubled it?
Double
you
the
already
damage, so
doubled
that
it?
would be.
No, I'm saying, okay,
18.
so there was 9
That would
flame
be-
damage.
Yeah, there
just
was.
in and of itself?
I rolled a 6 and a 9, a 6 and a 3, which would make 9. So that would make 18 flame damage if you're doing the double
Absolutely.
for the flame. And then
So 7
for the
and then 18 flame damage.
and then the Lime Mills Blade, which is a natural 20. I rolled a 1. 2. So that was
So
5
sad.
slashing damage, right? 5 slashing damage, and I'm using a
Okay.
superiority die to trip it, which does additional 5 damage whether or not it passes the strength saving
Oh,
throw.
so can you trip a creature that is huge?
Says anything. It's a trip attack.
Okay.
It says when you hit with a weapon attack, you expend 1 superiority die to add the
It's
total
dex
to
or
the
strength?
damage roll. Strength.
Okay, it fails either way. It's fine. Okay, it's
so
prone.
it is prone, and it took 5 additional damage.
Okay, good hit, good round. It is now.
I'm sorry. I'm legitimately sick. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's my
It's okay. It is going to use its turn. It's going to, first of all, sit up because it was prone. And it is going to use its stinger. 18. Okay, so I roll the damage on that. 18 does hit, right? You don't have like anything to stop that. This is for you, Rowan. That's the wrong dice. Which one is this? Is this the one? It's not the one. Where's my dice? That is the one. That is 8 points of piercing damage. Rowan, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
What was the AC?
18 was the hit.
Yeah. Constitution? Do these away. That is a 19.
19 on the Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
It plunges the stinger into you, kind of grazes your shoulder, and can't quite keep the stinger within you. It is going to use its mandible.
It failed a melee attack against me.
It landed the attack. It just did not. It landed the attack.
Oh.
So I'm sorry. Did you not subtract the damage? You took, what was it? 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points. Okay.
8 points of piercing damage. You just did not get the secretion.
The
Yes.
sickness of it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay. Secretion.
So it is going to roll its bite attack now. And that's a natural one. So, no. Nothing. But that is its turn. We move to Karan. Karan, what would you like to do?
Right. Well, I can't really tell from where I'm at. I mean, I could tell that it didn't stick in; it just kind of raised, so it's not currently stuck into Rowan. I think I'm just going to lay into it with a second level guiding bolt.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Actually, no, that's second level. I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna do a first level guiding bolt. All right, so that is a 17 plus 7, so 24.
24 will hit. Roll your damage.
Perfect. All right. Six, 11 radiant damage.
That is within range, though, right?
How
much?
Yeah, because guiding bolt go 120 feet.
Okay, yeah, you're good. 11 points?
Yes, it's 11 points of radiant damage. And then I am going to use the second level spell slot to summon down the spiritual weapon.
Oh yeah, what is that weapon again? Did I ever make that thing?
It's literally just like a wisp that does force
Did I ever make this
damage.
Thing? Oh, I don't think
shock
I did.
damage.
I failed you. I need to create this.
I think we used a lightning bolt this time.
Use a lightning bolt. Might be what we have to do this time. I can
Or if you have a
search
glowing ball, it's like a glowing will-o-wisp ball type of thing. That should be sufficient enough.
I can probably do that. Hold on. Let me make. I can do this. I can do
Asset generation on the fly.
asset generation on the fly. How big does this thing need to be? Let's make it that
however
big.
big you.
And
Sure,
let's
all
give
right,
it
cool.
12. Shaders compiling. It's fine. It's a grid sphere. That might be a little bit too big. Let's just do one, like something like that. Oh nope, that was it. That was it. Oh god. I guess this is. Oh god, that's bright.
I summoned a small sun into the room.
I'm sorry. Okay. What about this? That's a little bit better. This? Nope, that's not it.
Yeah, that
There's nothing there.
Oh, it looked like there was something. No, that's just the central point. Oh, okay.
Oh, some of these aren't. They're just not loading. It's compiling. I don't know what this is. We're about to see. Sure. That's it. Sure.
Yeah, it works for now. Yeah,
A small sun.
for now. A small sun. And that is within 60 feet, so I can put it right there. And it is the ability to do an attack upon summoning. So
Yo, attack.
To attack it. That is a 16. 11 plus 7.
16.
Or sorry, 11 plus 7. Math. 18.
18 hits.
Cool. Okay. That is a D8.
Also, whoever attacks because of your guiding bolt next turn melee has advantage, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
That is 6 plus 5. 11 force damage.
Okay. Good hits.
And that was like all right up in his face.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Briar.
Seeing what's going on, Briar is going to feel inside of her fire, and she's going to go to cast Scorching Ray, so I need to roll 3 hits for that. So let's see. Well, it does a 16 hit.
How far is that?
120 feet.
Okay.
So, does a 16 hit for the first one?
16 just hits.
Okay. Next one is going to be a 17 to hit, and the last will be a nat 20. I don't know what that does for spells, though.
Same, I think.
Oh,
Isn't
same.
it?
Okay, cool. So I'll be doubling the damage on the dice on 1. That's fine. Okay, so each ray, it's 3 rays. Each one does 2d6 damage.
Okay,
So,
roll your damage.
Yep.
Oops, wrong thing. What level did you cast that at?
2.
Okay.
It's going to take 38 damage
Jesus.
of fire.
Okay.
And that.
So you cast that at, okay, it's 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
Good hit. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Actually, wait, is 38 doubled? Or that, yeah, you already doubled it, right?
I doubled the dice. Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, you doubled it because it was fire damage.
No, I didn't do anything because of fire damage. Wait, no, that was all flat damage. You're
All fire damage is doubled because it's
Wait, did you double all
vulnerable.
the dice on the nat 20?
Oh, the nat 20 is just 2d6. That was doubled. So, yeah. So that's 76 damage, right? Math?
I'm just trying to figure out where 38, how you got to 38.
3 rays. Each
Right.
one is
Which one's 2d6?
2d6s. Yeah. Each one.
Yes.
and then one of those d6s was double dice.
Right. So even if you rolled 6s on every single one, that would be not 38.
Did I do this? Wait, did I do this wrong?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because
Let me.
if you rolled 2d6 on the first hit and it was 12, and then you rolled another 2d6 and it was 6 and 6, also again, and it was another 12, that would be 24. And if you rolled another 6 and 6, just perfect rolls, that would be 12, 24. The highest you could possibly get would be 48.
Then I. Yeah. So, what I rolled. Wait. Okay. Let me make sure I did. I've rolled out of all of these, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6 dice. 4 of those were 6s.
4 of them.
The 5th one was a 5, and the 6th one was a 4. One of those is a nat 20.
Well, if you're going to roll them, roll each of them individually, so you're not saying, hey, I'm going to roll 6 dice and I'm going to choose the highest ones and double those for my last one.
I didn't do
You rolled
that.
each of them individually?
I did each one individually.
Okay. So the last 2 were the 5 and the 4.
Yes.
So 38 doubled 76 G's. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Asher.
Asher is going to bonus action summon out his flame blade and make a melee attack with it.
Okay. You're going to run up to it?
Yep. Does a 16 hit?
That is its AC.
Okay. Then it's going to do...
You have advantage, David, right? Because it's the first melee attack
yep,
after the guiding bolt.
Okay, well, it's still not a nat 20, but it's a 16
Well,
plus 7.
Wouldn't
so...
he have flanking as well? A little bit of flanking as
But,
well?
I mean, it still hits, but it
Yep.
doesn't... It's not
It's
a
just
nat
not
20,
nat
so it doesn't matter. Flame Blade is 3d6. Gotta find my d6s. So that's 12 damage, fire damage.
Is that already doubled?
Nope, that's just straight.
So wait,
it'd be
okay, what's your
24
total damage?
12 plus 12, so 24 total after the double.
So your flame blade is all flame damage?
Yes, it's
Nice.
3d6 flame damage.
Okay, 24 total. You guys are destroying this thing. Dom.
And that's my turn.
Dom.
Okay, so I'm going to move my movement and get up in its face. Is there room for me there in that corner over there?
Sure.
And with both of my, by the way, I rolled a 6 on the charts. So 5, 10.
What's up, chat? Roll. Chat, roll a, what, D8?
Yes.
Exclamation point D8.
Stupid question, but did the prone do anything? Has there been any additional damage?
It got up
because
on
it's
its
been
turn.
prone?
Its
Yeah, it
turn was
went
right
right
after you
after
and
you.
it got up.
Okay.
Chat.
Okay.
We have a 4.
Okay. Then I'm just going to make 2 attacks.
Okay.
we have a 16 and a 15.
16 does hit, 15 does not. Roll damage.
We got 14 regular and 3 fire.
14 and 6 fire. It is now Rowan's turn.
Rowan's seeing it stand up. He's gonna want it to go down again. So he's gonna swing with 2 attacks again. I swear to God, natural 20 for the first attack. Take the picture of that. That did. Take it. And a 14 for the second attack. So natural 20 plus 5, 25 to hit for the first one, and then 14 plus 5, so 19 for the second hit.
What were the two?
Natural 20 for the first one.
Okay.
And 19 for the second one.
Okay, both hit.
Okay, so I just do a double the roll. Are you kidding me? I rolled a 1. So 5 slashing damage for the first one, which would be the trip attack.
Okay, so strength.
So that I'm gonna roll
It's
superiority die
prone.
with them. Okay, and die. That's a 6 additional damage on that one. And I'm gonna roll the 2.
Technically, your second attack would be advantage because it's prone, right?
Yes, it would be. So 10. So I rolled a 5 for the fire damage. That'll be 10 fire damage in total to the beast. Do you want me to roll for advantage for the second attack?
Go ahead, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a 16 plus 5.
That's fine.
This is 61. Just do the 5 again, slashing damage for Limemill's blade.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Is there anything else that Rowan could do? No, but I want to note to you, Holson, that Rowan has Sentinel attack. So any creature within 5 feet, if there's an attack made against a target other than Rowan, I can make it a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just noting that. There's so
is
Rowan
that your
has a
turn?
reaction ready. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's his turn.
It will again rebound its tail and send it in again. 19 plus stuff.
Yeah, that hits.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Come on, Amara. That is a 17 plus 4. That's 21.
Okay, you're good. As its tail kind of grazes your shoulder again, it kind of overextends, loops back around, and makes another attack. What is the plus?
Sentinel.
It's making for you.
Me? Okay.
Yep. Alright, that's 21 to hit. Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh wait, I need to actually roll the damage for the, the one that landed first.
You did.
I didn't give you damage. You just rolled a Constitution. I never gave you dealt damage to you. You succeeded your Constitution, but it didn't land the other. So the first attack that grazed you, is going to be 18 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
Yikers. The second one. Ouch. 17 points of piercing damage.
Rowan's down.
Okay. Roll another Constitution saving throw for the second hit that landed.
It's an 18 plus 4, 22.
You're good. It's going to use its layer action to go whoop, and
It's
cling to the
prone
ceiling.
though, just so everybody knows.
Well, it
stood
moved
up
on
at
its
the
first.
beginning
It
of
just
its
stood up on
turn.
the first.
Mhm.
Yeah, the beginning of its turn. It is now clinging to the ceiling. There's an animation for that, but I'm not going to play it.
We know it is pretty cool.
Since I didn't spend a bonus action, can I? No, I did. Never mind. 2 weapon fighting. Never mind.
Okay. From there, it is going to spit a barb. That is let's decide who's this going to hit. Rowan is currently down.
Have chat roll.
Asher. Don't smile. This is bad for you. This is. Come on. Yeah, that'll hit. It's 18 plus stuff. So. You will take 6 points of piercing damage. Make a Constitution saving throw. You're muted, by the way.
Oh, I thought I unmuted. Well, fuck. What does a 13 get me?
13 gives you a slight stinging sensation. 13. Well,
What you missed when I was muted was I looked at my dice and said, "Don't fuck me."
and it fucked you.
Yep.
Asher, you feel as these toxins are secreted into your body, this stiffening sensation as you were beginning to turn to stone. You see as the eyes kind of hone in and lock in on you as if like prey has been acquired. Karun, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to see Rowan go down. That's bad. So I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use level 2. Actually, how far am I? I'm 5, 10, 15, 20.
5, 10,
no, I'm
15,
too far
20,
away.
20, 25, 30.
I'm 30?
I think so. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Well, okay. So you'd have to move one space forward.
Okay. Yeah, no. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use level 2 healing word on Rowan. And that is 2d4. Ain't gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be something. So that is 6, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 healing to Rowan. And what exactly you said happened to Asher again that I can see?
He got pierced by a barb that was shot from the tail of the
Okay.
Keleg.
But he didn't go down, and he still looks motive.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna use my bonus. Let me double check this as far as. There's a bonus section. You can target 20 feet and repeat the attack. Okay. How high up did that thing jump?
You'd be able to reach it.
Okay, so yeah, just float that little sun up there to the ceiling like a disco ball.
What you doing up here, little guy?
I'm gonna try it. Exert my opinion on it physically.
Make an assumption.
Make an assessment.
19
to hit.
19.
That'll hit.
All right, the disco ball is gonna. With its little. And so I'm gonna roll a d8, and that is a 4 plus 8. That's 12 plus 5. That's 17 damage.
17 points of force damage.
Right in the face. Just
in the face. Right
in the face.
It's your turn.
I'm going to attempt to hit it with another Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Okay. So, plus only one of those hit. Because one of them was a nat 20, the other one was a 1 and a 6, and my modifiers won't get me to where I need to be. So, full damage. It's going to be a 10. Doubled would be 20 fire damage. That's just for the crit. And then because it's fire damage, that'd be 40. Right?
Ouch. Yeah. It's looking pretty hurt. Pretty hurt. Is that your turn?
Giving... Is Rowan down still?
No, he's back up. Sorry.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Oops.
Nothing. We're good. That's it.
Whoop. Okay. We are to Asher.
Okay, so Asher is going to bonus action Healing Word on Rowan level 2.
Okay.
So that's 10 health to you, Rowan. And then he's going to cast Produce Flame and hurl it up at the ceiling.
Okay.
17 plus 7, so I'm assuming that hits.
That hits.
This one isn't so bad, it's only 1d8, it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
It's an 8 though.
Okay,
So that's
16 points of fire damage. Fuck this thing.
Yeah, so Asher's
Ace.
just gonna like take his flame blade and like
It's your
kind
turn.
of grab a little bit of fire out and then just hurl it up in the ceiling offhandedly.
Love it.
So can I reach it where I'm at?
With your fists? No.
Yes. Okay.
No.
Can
I'll jump 20 feet in the air.
can I make some kind of check to get its attention? I'm trying to draw it away from obviously Asher and Rowan.
Make an animal handling check?
Animal
Honestly,
handling?
I would just say don't even try. Probably not. I mean, you can try, but I don't imagine that it's going to be interested in you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna still try.
Okay. When I'm saying that, it means even if you got a nat 20, probably wouldn't work. And then you'd be disappointed because you'd be like, I got a nat 20 though. It's like, well, doesn't always mean success.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Then I am. Let me make sure that this is a bonus action. I am going to step in front of Asher. And then I'm gonna pull out my great axe as a action, and that is all I can do.
Okay.
I would like I want to be in front of it, so where if it has to attack, it has to go through me to get him.
Can't necessarily do that. I mean, combat's not designed that way.
Okay. Cool.
Like to
Awesome.
occupy the
That's
same
all I
space or
can
whatever.
do.
I don't know that there's any mechanic in D&D that allows for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I guess
you're
we
good.
could just like make it happen, but yeah.
No
We'll
worries.
just play it out. That being said, Rowan, it's your turn. You're muted.
Can you pull out a scene just a little bit so I can kind of look at what Rowan has for movement? Jesus. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm willing to make the athletics or acrobatics checks. But if Rowan
To
were
get up to
to
this?
climb up and jump off to kind of do a double swing,
It would probably be
Double
multiple
swing.
turns. So like up until here, we'd have 5, 10,
5,
15,
10, 15,
rough terrain,
20.
rough terrain, and then we're here. You know what I mean? So it's rough terrain to climb up these. This one,
I
not
can
so
do
much.
an
That you
athletics
can get
check
up
or an
there.
acrobatics check, whatever you would like.
To not do.
To jump up. Yeah, to jump up.
But it's still rough terrain, is what I'm saying. Like to move through
It
that.
would be so 5, 10, 15, so it'd be half. It would be half his movement. That's right.
I'll tell you what. You could probably do 5, 10, and then this. You could probably jump up there. Be an athletics check.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So I'll let you move to there. And then you're going to make an athletics check to get up to there.
Okay, I am proficient
You would end your turn up here,
but
because doing like an athletics check would be the entirety of your movement.
so I wouldn't be able to do an action.
You would get up here. It'd be the entirety of your movement.
Up on movement. Got it. Okay. I could
You want to be able to like jump
potentially...
out to it.
Okay. Wouldn't be able to jump out to it. Okay.
Not on this turn, at least.
No.
You could throw something, maybe.
That's what I was thinking. It's a nat one. So I'm just gonna get up there. Well, I'm just gonna get to wherever.
Athletics check. What was your athletics check?
I rolled a nat 1, and I got a 6.
So you do not successfully jump up there. That would end your
No.
movement right here.
But from that movement, can I still throw either
Attempting
my...
that loses your movement. You don't get to like, hey, in my turn, I'm going to run up here, try to jump up. I failed that. I'm going to use the rest of my movement. You know what I mean? It uses the rest of your movement to have even attempted it.
Throwing a weapon, does that...
Oh, no.
count
I'm
as a
saying, I
movement?
thought you were saying you're going to move more.
No. Does throwing a weapon count as my movement?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw my flame tongue and my light mills blade at it.
Both of them. All right.
So Rowan's gonna literally just throw both of them at it. 17
Okay.
and a 15. So 22 to hit for the flame tongue. And a dirty 20 for the limeless blade.
What was the first one?
17
That'll
plus 5, so 22. Does that hit?
That does, both of them. Roll your damage.
Okay. So I'm gonna use the superiority
I
die
will say, though,
for the
that
first one.
your flame tongue will extinguish as it leaves your hand.
That would make sense. Okay, so I'll just roll the damage for it. But I'll use a superiority die to get it down to the ground to prone it. So 3. So it has to roll a strength check against that.
14.
Okay, well that I believe meets. So yeah. So that's still an additional damage. Yeah, yikes. Okay,
How much damage?
so 6 slashing damage with the superiority die, which is 1, which is 7, and then 4 slashing damage.
Total?
No fire damage.
Total?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. It's looking not alive. It's barely holding on. But with its last sliver of life, it shoots a barb. I'm literally... This die loves to roll 18s. Just constantly.
So
That is an
pick a
18 plus
different
stuff.
one.
So that's going to hit you. Asher, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
That's not within 5 feet.
17 plus 3, so dirty 20.
Okay. That first one is fine. You're going to take... Oh, wrong die. Wrong die. Sorry. I was going to do a little bit more damage than I should have there. That is 10 points of piercing damage on that first barb. You see as the last barb, it has these 4 that grow out from the sides of it. The last barb shoots out 17 plus stuff.
Yep.
Roll Constitution saving throw. You will also take 9 points of
plus
piercing.
3, so 21.
Okay,
9 points.
9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Seeing that it is on its last leg, it is going to attempt to crawl away. Does your spiritual weapon have opportunities of attack?
Let me double check. It doesn't explicitly say.
It says no, spiritual weapon can't make opportunity.
No, yeah, I
attacks.
see that. I see that.
I just looked it up. Okay,
It's not a conscious being.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it to about here and then drops down as it desperately scurries away for its life.
Aw.
Okay.
So, question: when it dropped, it stayed on the ceiling and then dropped down in front of Briar,
Over here.
or by Briar.
So it is.
Okay.
That is its turn. It is now Karun's turn.
Am I able to see it from where I'm at? Do I have line of sight to it?
Roughly. You can maybe just move over a space.
Yeah, I'm literally just going to pivot over a space, and then I'm going to. I still want to aim for. I don't want to aim at its tail. I want to keep it as much intact as possible.
that's fine.
So, I'm going to aim for its body because I can't see its face anymore. But I am going to use
The
guiding
infamous
bolt against it.
Okay, I guess you're like, fuck your sacred flame.
No,
Let's see,
no,
if you had done sacred flame, I would have
It's a
failed. It was a
dex-
5.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Well, doesn't matter. I'm going to do an attack roll.
Me and my 16s on sacred flame.
Which that is going to be a 14 plus 7.
Okay, it hits. Roll
So
your damage.
it's-
You don't need to roll your damage.
Okay, all right.
Blind.
Instant.
Quran.
Mhm.
Regale us the tale of how you slaughtered the Keleg.
Oh, I mean, it's just that simple, really. It fell, and he saw it start to go in the tunnel, so he just pivoted around and blasted the guiding bolt, and impacted. And it not in the tail, but like in its hindquarters area. And I don't know how devastating of an effect it did, but it certainly did the job.
And with the last bit of its momentum, it kind of just slides towards the entrance in which you guys came through the cavern. You guys have slain the Keleg.
Immediately go up to Asher.
Okay. I can close this.
Rowan, Asher, you guys okay?
A close call.
Yeah, just a little too close for comfort.
JT, how is Asher looking? Is there look like there's a spread?
The effects of it are fading, as the second dose required to completely turn him into stone did not get administered. This close. You guys were rolling high on those saves, though. Good job. Good job.
I came over to you. I'm like, I'm going to use lesser restoration.
Yep.
Oh, I already have that prepared, but I doubt that would work.
Is
Yeah,
there,
technically, yeah.
knowing that them two are okay, can make a perception check or investigation, see if there's any
Yeah,
in this
go ahead.
cave?
So for you, it would be disadvantage because you don't have light. You can't see. So you probably just inquire to the party.
have my-
like, hey, help me out, guys.
How about I still have my fist lit
Okay,
and I
light
will
your-
do my eye.
For magic.
Yeah,
Okay,
to help.
light it up.
Nat 20.
Hey, against the bounds of your vision, you see within the darkness and the dank fog of the cave several items light up. As you get closer, what looks to be a pair of boots. And as you get even closer, you see that the boots are accompanied by gloves. And another thing that lights up seems to be an amulet. And then as you get closer and illuminate these objects with your gauntlet, you see that they are attached, being worn by a skeleton. A skeleton that is kind of next to a chest and an arrow directly in its forehead.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, boy, always check for traps, mate.
You do see that the chest is slightly ajar. In his hand, in the glove, is kind of a little piece of parchment paper, just seems to be a note of sort.
May I take it and read it?
Sure.
Okay, I read it.
Reading the note, it reads, "Ha! You thought I wouldn't find your treasure. Benny, you fuck. Now it's mine. All mine. I'm too fast with these boots, and your arrows are no match for my gloves. And even if one did get by my defenses, this amulet has made me as resilient as an elder dragon. The game is over. The hunt is over. I win. Now let's see what you've been hiding away from me so desperately."
Okay, I will take that note fold it up, put it away, and
I
very.
will note also that there is nothing else being worn. Just the boots, just the gloves, just the amulet.
Must be a relative of Martison. I will very cautiously like kick open the chest and like take a couple steps back and kind of.
Yeah, within the chest, you see that there is like a little bit of a mechanism with a crossbow just aimed directly up towards the mouth of the treasure chest. Just kind of a trap mechanism designed to shoot as soon as it was opened. Behind that, you do see. We'll wait for Blind to get back. Behind that, within the cave or within the treasure chest, you see this. It's kind of simple, just mask. One half of it is white with a smile, and the other is red with kind of this almost dreadfully sinister frown. Split down the middle.
And with my eye, can I tell what kind? Is it glowing?
It's not glowing. It's just a normal mask.
Just a normal mask. Okay. I will pick up the mask, the gloves, the boots, kind of put it all in my bag, and kind of like really excited, like walk over to the guys and be like, I found some really cool shit. As soon as we get back, I'll show you guys.
And while Ace is searching, Briar is harvesting
Bayali?
Bayali.
Bayali? Question mark?
Yeah.
Question?
Oh.
What are you doing, Briar?
Harvesting the monster's tail and bat guano.
Okay. Easy enough. There's actually just these bulbous sacs that the bottom of the tail that you just kind of you got the little stone toxin. You now have everything you need to hopefully help Amansar develop some kind of cure.
And my bat poop.
And your bat poop. I saw as soon as I said that bats came by, you were like, started writing a note. Bat poop, let's go. Okay. The kind of exciting journey on your way back into town as you've kind of successfully hedged this monster and the threat upon Lake Grasp, and excited for potential of what Amansar can come across. You guys travel back down into the town and hail the guards at the gate, and they see that you've returned. They open the northern gate, and you guys weren't gone all that long, but it's now approaching probably late afternoon for the few hours that you guys were gone. Just traveling there, kicking the crap out of that monster, and then coming back. Yeah. Did some damage. I could make monsters harder for you guys, I tell you. And maybe it feels hard for you, but for me, I'm getting my butt kicked.
We are expending resources. It's not like we're being,
it's true.
conservative.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, as you guys kind of walk through the town, still the streets kind of busy with people running through the marketplace, still continuing their afternoon shopping. You see this kind of cloaked individual kind of hurriedly rushing through the crowd, and it seemed to drop their coin purse and don't notice, and they just kind of keep moving along.
Hey. Rowan's going to pick up the coin purse and try to...
When you pick up the coin purse, you feel that it's not hard. There's no coins in it. It doesn't clink around or anything like that, and you kind of peer in, and it's just a bag of mealworms. As you look up, you see that the figure has stopped and is turning towards you, and underneath their brown burlap, kind of hood. They remove the hood, and you see that there is a dark hood, the face of a raven, as it stares at you. And then just turns into a raven, just a regular raven, and the cloaks drop to the ground and it flies off.
Rowan's going to pick up again the sack, even though it's creeped out the first time. He's going to pick it up, get a go hold on it, and he's going to secure it again and kind of tie it into a little knot to where it doesn't open. That wasn't normal. Did anybody else see that?
Everybody saw it.
Yep. I kind of got your attention when Rowan tried to get the person's attention.
I just want to make sure it wasn't like only Rowan saw it. Like something crazy that happened.
Well, considering
You don't know that it's a bag of worms until he shows you, but
yeah.
You did see that the figure turned around and looked, and then turned into a raven and flew away.
Maybe that was the mother raven chick that I bought the crystals off of.
Also, I would remind you that it is akin to the raven masked wearing individual that you saw leaving Lake Rasp when you first came. It seems to be the same kind of mask situation in the dark robes.
I thought that between the drugs we took yesterday and whatever the fuck that poison was, I was seeing things. But
should we look through the worms and see if there's anything else in there, like a hidden message?
And Rowan put together, it looked like the same person that we saw. Okay. That guy looked like the same person that we put the order on.
Ace, you met a lady that claimed she was the mother of ravens. Should we go ask her?
Pretty badass, yeah.
Wait a second. So, Odin, if there's two ravens, which raven did I see during the guillotine?
You saw another raven during the guillotine?
Yeah, up on the rooftop.
No. Well, I was told if I ever needed to summon her to look at a raven and yell, "Mother Raven, I need you," she'd come. So, you could do that if you want. I don't know. They could be connected, they could not be.
Not to discredit your right, Bree. It could be. It could be. I have to agree with Bree. It could be the same person. Same thing. Maybe. I don't know. This whole shifting into a bird thing is kind of new to me. The fact that we've seen two ravens, Rowan's going to point to Bree, then pointing to where the man was, or thing was. It's a little coincidental, don't you think?
Certainly a possibility. The appearance definitely seems similar to the one that we saw entering. Asha, have you heard of any others that practice your druidic craft that specifically turn into birds or ravens more specifically?
I was thinking the same thing. Do I?
You roll me a religion check.
Oh shit, that's a 19 plus 0.
Ooh, okay. Okay, let me not mince my words here. You know of a group of druidic people that worship a raven-related deity. There's not a whole lot known about the deity. The interesting part of the deification of this raven god is their multiple simultaneous active forms. What is known as I don't know how much to give.
It's not a nat 20. Remember that.
It's not a nat 20. I will stop it there.
And I'll disperse that to the group and be like, I don't know much about them other than, well, that they exist, essentially.
Maybe we should ask the Mother Raven about that. Could be could be a good idea.
It might be a good start. She's the only person we know that can turn into a bird.
But I think before we start figuring out this crazy Raven conspiracy shit, we need to get back to the bar. We need to go through all of this magic stuff that we got, because the bag's getting heavy with some pretty cool shit, and we need to start using it.
I'm gonna point to the
I will
venom
also
sack
know,
and be
also
like,
just so viewers know, they level it up after that fight. They will.
Ooh.
They will level up after that fight.
And not to mention, I've got 2 giant sacks that we got to deal with.
we should probably figure out Tamansar's stuff before we get greedy.
Let's
Well-
deliver that stuff to Almansar and back to the Sleeping Moon. Distribute the goods. Then we go from there.
Agreed.
Okay. So what's your first order of business? Where are you trying to go?
Head to a Munsar.
So as you make your way back to the Sleeping Moon, Amansar, eagerly awaiting your guys' return, kind of joyfully greets you, seeing the sacks on your shoulder or in your hands.
Mansar,
You've done it, and you've
I
all
got it.
returned.
Yes.
No one got turned to stone.
Close, but
Yep.
no, fortunately we made it back. Relatively unscathed.
I knew you would. Briar, may I see them? I want to get work immediately.
Yes, here's one for each hand.
I don't know if this would help the two. And I'll pull out the barb that I ripped out of me, and I'll hand it over to him and be like, don't mind the blood, that's mine.
Sorry for your misfortune, but it will be for a good cause. We will study it, and I'm sure the research department will love this.
When you're done studying it, I would like a written report about it so I can learn in a little bit, because I would like to put it in my dart.
I can help you with that, you deviant.
Please.
All right, next rule, or next line of business, as Amansar kind of jauntily walks away with the toxin sacks. What did you want to do?
Let's go back to the Sleeping Moon and see what Dom discovered and await dinner and Calandra.
As you
I think.
enter the Sleeping Moon, having greeted Amansar from outside, you see that Calandra is already there, and actually already just speaking with the elves there. And you see that they kind of like listen intently as she kind of shows them like what she knows, and she's kind of excitedly like taking them through different tomes and stuff, kind of like as she did with you, like her little like frantic research, like but stuff that she had learned. And you see them kind of like intently listening as she kind of just flutters around the different study things, and then sees you enter. Karan,
Calandra,
I've met your people.
I see. No need for introductions then.
Yeah, we've already gotten to work.
Very good. Here, I don't know how pertinent this will be, but wouldn't want you deprived of every resource that you had when you showed me. I'll pull the book out, the story, fairy tale book, give that back to her to show to them.
She goes through, walks them through that, like the little fairy tale about the, that kind of pertain to your people. And she kind of excitedly shows them all through all that. And they kind of start to make kind of epiphanies in the same way that you did, of like stuff like kind of the like, maybe we shouldn't have been so sheltered because we don't know this stuff about our people. We only know what we knew. We thought we knew.
With the conclave.
Yeah.
Taught. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she kind of excitedly like turns to you and looks. Calandra does. And I think I'll need help. I'll get aid from the Temple of Light, but I believe that I can purify, just scale up that ritual. I'll need lots of help, and we'll have to stay with your people for a while, but I think it would be worth it. I think we can cleanse your Moon Lake well.
The very well itself.
Well itself. It will be a lot of work. It'll be a large undertaking. That's why I will need help. I know you were opposed to some of the Temple of Light people, but again, I think we can work together and resolve this.
I trust you. The question is, and I'll look to Vildriel, do you all trust her as well?
I have a good feeling. She seems pure and well-intended. The others she brings along I do not know yet, but you know that the Conclave, if trouble were to arise, we would be fine. We would meet it appropriately. I don't think you'll have to worry about that with the people that I bring. Most of us just want what's best for the world and to shed light upon it. And if people such as yourself seek the same thing and are undergoing these troubles, then we should help, so that together we should shed the light upon all of the world together and vanquish any of the blight and corruption that attempts to take hold among the shadows.
Just want to make sure. Anything else you wanted to say? Okay, good. I interjected last time, was I? So then we can finally be just one people. the people of Aelos. I think
That's
that
ultimately
this
the
could
goal.
trust. I think this could build a good trust, and hopefully maybe even incite a change, not just on ours, but perhaps even the temple will start to see things differently, propagate new edicts. I think that so long as you believe there isn't any extreme risk we're not considering, trying to tackle this at its source will
I mean,
rectify whatever currently exists.
I guess there's always the risk that we fail and unleash the thing that's meant to be captive onto the entire world, and then it enslaves us all and we're all destroyed. But, you know, not doing anything is also making that kind of inevitable.
There's no reward without risk. I've certainly learned that myself. Hopefully, we'll all be more careful than to incite something such as that. Regardless, you have my support. You have the support of my friends, it would seem. I know what happened when you purified mine. So long as you have come up with something, and I'm willing to discuss at length later, a way to mitigate that, then I think we'll be doing the whole
Yes,
world a lot
my
of good.
thought on that is that we have to not only cleanse it, but we have to contain that corruption and not just leave it spilt out upon an altar like we did.
That would
I'm
seem
sure
the
together
reasonable
with
approach.
my people's talents and restoration and cleansing and your people's, then together we can come up with something more powerful than either of us have ever known, using the same knowledges. I have faith.
I do as well. When do you propose that your followers might be able to gather?
I will inquire. I suppose immediately. As they finish up our work here, I will propose that we make a pilgrimage, and considering its approval, we will travel back with your people. Are you joining?
There's a lot of things that are taking us in many directions away from Lake Grasp, especially now that the sordid events have passed. I'll look to the other Nermine and then back to her. It's hard to not make the decision without bringing it up with the party. So, honestly, I can't answer just yet, though my heart does wish to be so. I'll know better in the morning. Apologize,
Meditate
it's been
on it.
quite a day. Or merely need some rest even. I didn't expect, after everything we've been through, I'd be so exhausted after today. The morning. It's not like we're leaving right now. And besides, I've come and interjected into the flow of your conversation.
Not at all. You're instrumental to it.
Rowan is going to note, since we're probably going to be leaving tomorrow, we need to go see Insta today.
And,
And we need to go let Aiden know whether or not we want to be working with him today before we hit the road.
and I actually did want to bring up to y'all my hometown. Do you think we should bring that up to the Order of Heroes, or would we like to handle that ourselves?
Me liberating your hometown? Wouldn't dream of it.
Korea kind of chimes in. Asher, I don't know that I want to go back. Especially now that you're going to be off adventuring and I'm going to be with child. I can't go back there alone and work the fields, or I feel safer here. I like it here. At least for now.
I guess that is an eventual job, but what about our neighbors? And the longer they stay down there, the more harder it is to rebuild. It might not be an immediate thing, but would getting the Order of Heroes support even for a later endeavor now
That
be...
is what we initially came for here to do anyway. We came here and you left to go try to get help from the crown. But I mean, you may not have the crown, but at least you have perhaps the help of the order.
Well, it's something to bring up, I guess, for a later date. I'm gonna look to the party and kind of like start to Jethro tomorrow.
Yeah. Jethro tomorrow. Ron's gonna start walking towards the fingers or the rings to where the Order of Heroes is.
Do you think Ista, Order of Heroes, will need to be?
You cut out. Your mic's not picking up your voice a lot of times.
Do you think Ista, Order of Heroes, do we need the whole party for that?
Not really. We could split it up if we need to.
Well, I kind of thought maybe me and Briar would sit back at the inn, and with her new ability to identify things, maybe we could figure out all of these items that we have, and I could help her with that.
Are you guys on board to working with the Order of Heroes, not for? We'll be working with
With
the
sounds
Order of
good.
Heroes. And make it very clear that we're not working for them, we're working with them.
Of course, if that's something Lady Briar would like to do.
I still have a book I need that's been delivered. Maybe if you guys go, you could check in on the book.
Yeah, I'll swing by and pick it up for you.
I'm a little
Where's
sad
it
not
at?
to see Ista. It's Isher knows where it's at.
I'll lead the way there.
Yeah.
We'll do that after the order and stuff.
Run, you want to come with us?
I actually would like to see Ista, just even for the experience, but we had unfinished business we never got to attend to.
If you want, we could go after we've looked through all the items, or we could do it later even if you...
Yeah,
No.
I don't need to sleep long. I mean...
Mm-hmm.
Sleeps for the week.
Says you.
We can go and check out Ista afterwards if you guys like. Me, you, and Karon sounds like a party to me.
Rowan, you intend to see Ista tonight? I know it's still early evening.
See Aiden Aiden and I mean,
don't
if
know
we're
how
leaving
long-
tomorrow, we gotta see them today.
I think if me and Rowan see the Order of Heroes, if you three would go to Insta, it might. I don't know how long this meeting will take.
Shouldn't take long.
Rowan, if you don't mind, since you're seeing Aiden, to just get that letter of recommendation
Sure.
from him. I greatly appreciate it.
What's the other recommendation again?
He was gonna have a letter of recommendation for Ace's family to come from Zayhawk to Esmond.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make sure I get that for you.
Thank you.
I got it.
Yeah, and it would make sense probably because I don't know that the Order of Heroes things would take that long. You could probably just do both while you're over.
Yeah,
there
so
in
that's
the rings,
what I was imagining is that Rowan was just gonna say, "Hey, we'll be willing to help you out with things that Order Heroes needs that they don't really want to dive their hands in. We'd be willing to help you with." And then just run over to Ista, which is I'm assuming is probably like right up the street, and then pick up the book and then come back down. I can't imagine that being like too long.
Yep. So you guys can do the identifying stuff that you want to do. But we are way over time. It is time to end the episode. Next time, is Karan going to leave the party? What's with the Raven stuff? Will Amansar get a cure? Will the party work with the Order of Heroes? There's a lot of questions, okay? Are they going to go save Asher's village? Or are they going to go help Jathril? If they don't do one or the other, is it going to have lasting consequences for the rest of the campaign? You bet it will.
Find out next time.
Find out next time. And then the times after that. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. It's time to do the thing. It's time to do the thing. Boo-ba-da-do-do-do. Boo-ba-da-do-do-do.